Welcome to this investigation. Today, we're stepping into the shoes of investigative historians to uncover the dark, hidden rules that the most ambitious people in history used to steal crowns and build empires. I want you to ask yourself, what would you actually risk for a crown? How many lives is a throne really worth? Because if you thought inheriting a kingdom was simply a matter of divine right or, noble birth, prepare to have that grand illusion completely shattered. We're going to peel back the polished veneer of history and uncover the secret cheat codes of absolute power. There's this absolutely incredible story St. Augustine tells in his work, The City of God. A pirate gets captured and dragged right before Alexander the Great. When Alexander demands to know how this guy dares to terrorize the sea, the pirate fires back with the brilliant quote you see here. And honestly, it forces us to ask the central question for today's whole investigation. What really separates a rightful king from a common thief? Is it actually morality, or is it just scale? Look, on paper, the official rules of medieval royal succession were pristine. You needed the right lineage, the acclaim of the aristocracy, and of course, divine favor. But the hidden reality? Those were often just polite conventions that bowed down to military coercion, assassination, and some brutally strategic alliances. A crown almost always went to the candidate who was best able to take it and, more importantly, hold it. Everything else was just rationalization after the fact. Legitimate succession failed all the time, simply because ambition rarely waits its turn. And the sheer scale of this deception is staggering. If you look at the history of Chinese dynastic usurpations, from King Tang collapsing the Shah dynasty all the way to Chen Ershi's infamous Shah coup, it reads like a relentless ledger of stolen thrones. We're seeing era after era defined by hostile takeovers. Violent usurpation wasn't some rare exception in history. It was literally the hidden rule. So how do you wash the blood off those stolen crowns? Well, usurpers engineered a massive divine PR campaign. In China, this ultimate political cheat code was known as the Mandate of Heaven. The brilliant trick here was claiming that heaven bestows its mandate only on a virtuous ruler. Think about it. If you successfully overthrew the emperor, well, that was just proof that the old dynasty had lost their virtue, and heaven had actively chosen you. It's brilliant. To really make this work, ambitious rebels basically weaponize the natural world. Famines, floods, peasant revolts, or even just misplacing the supposedly magical state-transmitting seal, all of these were presented as absolute divine proof that the current ruler had lost favor. Suddenly, a bad harvest wasn't just bad weather anymore, it was a cosmic permission slip to commit high treason, framing bloody rebellions as a sacred duty. And we see this exact same pattern echoing all across the globe. Take the Roman Empire. Their imperial office had almost no stable succession system. Emperors survived based entirely on military power. In fact, virtually all their imperial dynasties rose straight out of conspiracy. In Rome, usurper or tyrant was simply the name given to a rebel who failed. The ones who actually succeeded, they got to rewrite the history books and call themselves Augustus. Part 1. Marriage, Murder, and Mercenaries, the Mechanics of Power. Let's transition from this theory of divine right to the bloody, tactical reality of how these thrones were actually seized on the ground. Now, while some rulers used the sword, others used the altar. Enter the Habsburg dynasty. They executed this bloodless but utterly ruthless strategy to accumulate immense power without fighting a single battle. While other kingdoms spent thousands of lives on the battlefield, the Habsburgs conquered from the bedroom. It is the ultimate example of a diplomatic cheat code. Just watch how this compounds over a few generations. It's crazy. Step 1. Emperor Maximilian I arranges his own marriage to Mary of Burgundy, instantly swallowing up the Netherlands and Luxembourg. Step 2. He marries his children into the Spanish royal family. Step 3. His grandson, Charles V, ends up inheriting the Holy Roman Empire, the Spanish throne, and its massive territories in the Americas. Half the known world conquered through calculated vows instead of drawn swords. But wait, what if you don't have the luxury of noble blood? What if you're entirely outside the system? Actually, what if you are literally a slave? How does a complete outsider ever navigate the shadows to sit on a throne? To answer that, we've got to look at the Mamluks of Egypt. They were a military caste of slaves who uncovered a very dangerous secret. Power isn't a static bloodline, it's a dynamic chain. There's this continuous flow between the leader, the followers, and the situation. The Mamluks realized that if the followers, which in their case was an elite, heavily armed mercenary army, could control the situation, they could just snap the chain and become the leaders themselves. And the speed of their coup? Absolutely breathtaking. When the ruler died, Mamluk commanders assessed the new heir as a threat to their privileges and simply assassinated him. Just like that. Commander Aybak slaughtered his way straight to the Sultanate. But here's the thing, the loyalty of a usurper is fickle. Soon after, another Mamluk named Baybars walked right up to the new sultan, kissed his hand in deep respect, and drove a sword right into his neck. Power instantly went to the man willing to take it.
Part 2. The Machiavellian Playbook. Master the Shadows. If we look at this through the lens of Renaissance drama, which was heavily influenced by Niccolo Machiavelli, we start to truly understand the chilling psychological mindset required of a successful usurper.
Here is the absolute darkest rule of all, perfectly distilled by Machiavelli himself. When men acquire who can acquire, they will be praised or not blamed. It's a chilling reminder that in the relentless pursuit of power, whether you're in a medieval court or a modern corporate boardroom, the universe does not recognize good and evil. It only recognizes success and failure. Those who succeed, well, they dictate the history books.
So, how exactly do you execute this? Machiavelli actually outlines a step-by-step method to secure power while keeping your public image absolutely pristine. First, you have to feign piety and honor. Second, never commit the crimes yourself. Use tool villains, basically cogs in the political machine who are hungry for power. Third, and this is the most ruthless part, once the bloody deed is done, publicly punish your own agents. You keep your hands visibly clean while reaping all the rewards. You can see a terrifyingly perfect example of this in John Webster's play, The White Devil. The character Francisco wants revenge, but he operates purely from the shadows. He uses gold to hire assassins, keeping himself completely removed from the actual instrument of death. He even notes that a prince who deals entirely by physical strength is shallow. The true mastermind never directly bloodies his own hands. He just turns the ambition of others into a weapon. Now, doing this demands an absolute, agonizing split in a ruler's personality. Think about it. The public illusion has to be pious, just, benevolent. But the private reality? Deeply deceptive and ruthlessly manipulative. According to this philosophy, great people cannot afford to be strictly good because the clever, evil people will simply devour them. To survive among wolves, you absolutely cannot afford to be a saint. Part 3. The true cost of power. We have to zoom out for a second and look at the devastating psychological price tag of maintaining these shadow thrones. What does it actually do to a person to live this way? Take the character of Boss Sola from The Duchess of Malfi. He acts as a classic tool villain, murdering on behalf of his duke. He tries so hard to treat murder as mere business, trying to detach his humanity from his horrific actions. But it's a fatal illusion. The true cost of this playbook is the complete and total degradation of the soul, traded away for just a few temporary steps up a ladder of blood. But wait, what happens if a ruler just refuses to play this dark game? Look at the historical fate of Edward II of England. Lacking these ruthless Machiavellian skills and focused mostly on his personal desires, Edward was completely ineffective. He became a king and no king, easily manipulated, rebelled against, and ultimately destroyed. In the brutal arena of realpolitik, weakness isn't just a flaw, it's literally an open invitation to be devoured by your own court. So, as we wrap up this investigation, we're really left staring at the undeniable wreckage of history. Behind almost every pristine crown is a hidden trail of broken alliances, silenced rivals, and strategic murders. It completely shatters the grand illusion of the divine right of kings. So, the next time you look at the empires of the past, or even the power structures of today, ask yourself, was kingship ever truly earned, or was it simply successfully stolen?